What do you think, Robert?
Heavy, yeah. Absolutely. If you're going to
Anyways, hey, how everybody doing again? You know what? We were talking a little bit a while back here about the structure thing as it pertained primarily, and this is generally always about the roundhouse, right? We were talking about the structure of the arm as it pertains to the use of the weapon. Weapon can either be hand, weapon can be knife, weapon can be tomahawk, right? If I'm trying to swing this tomahawk, I am not going to make much of a hole in anything swinging it like this, nor am I going to hold this thing 100% straight and try to swing it like this. It is going to be a structural, what's probably the best way, a compromise of a little bit of flexibility in this, so that when I hit something, if anything, it's going to maybe give just a little bit this way, but I'm not going to hyperextend it and tear myself up. So this would be the result of perhaps swinging too straight in the arm, right? If I'm a little bit, I've got a little bit of structure, I got a little bit of bend in my wrist, right? So in terms of weapons, right, this is allowing me to use bicep, chest muscle, core, torso, hips, and everything, and throw these down, right? And I cannot do this. If I throw this like this, I'm really shorting myself, right? If you've ever split wood, which I have a day or two, when you're splitting that wood, the only way you're going to split it well and do the most amount of lumber that you can split is to be consistent with your form, which is going to be just like a golfer. It's not going to be over, it's not going to be under, it's going to have just nice, perfect structure. And one thing I like to say about structure is, if a lot of people are kind of curious where this information comes from, if we look at this picture, which is going to get this close enough for everybody, a lot of us are going to recognize this picture. Okay, and if you look at it and you notice the hand position and that there is a little bit of bend in those wrists. So this is kind of set for, of course, roundhouses and backhammers and a lot of punches that we as San Soo people are using as our primary weapons. But once again, structure shows a little bit of curve there. Okay, so anyways, some of the information that I have gotten has come through several sources, one being TMI, other being Master Colby, and another being a longtime neighbor, good personal friend of Jimmy's, and also student, Carl Lorenzen. Okay, who, you know, if you live next door to somebody, you may have talked to this guy at certain times and information came across that some of us have never heard of, and perhaps some of this information is what that, you know, the thing about the structure and the forearm positioning and things. So if you just give it a little thought, I think it seems to be, it's kind of normal and basic for those structured punches, the roundhouses, and certainly the backhammers and things. Because like I said, it's not, I'm not saying, like I said, piston punch, yeah, it's going to be straight ahead just like we do, right? But for that fore-knuckle, it's going to be 4 knuckles. It's going to come around from here. It's going to be from there. And like I said, I hope that kind of clears that up, because I'm certainly not the ultimate or the oldest San Soo person around in this country. And I certainly am honored to get information from all sources. But I really do believe that, you know, some of the sources may not have been some that all of us have heard of, because how that would be impossible almost. Like I said, if I had Jimmy as a neighbor, I'd have been bugging him each and every day, trying to get him to teach me something every day. But I didn't have that honor, so. Okay, and one other thing, that if you have students or you're a student yourself and you're practicing, a lot of times you will notice that some of us, when we get tense, we have this thing about where we will tense up. When we tense up, we draw up, and we're not using that arm in that little bit of an extended circular position, you know, with a little bit of that bend in the sword. And you'll find, if you will put a weighted weapon in there and just swing that thing, it will naturally come around to where it works well. Okay, and if you're training somebody and they tend to give this, right? This is a little too tight, right? A little bit too tight. If you put a weighted weapon in the hands, for you to throw this any kind of correctness, it's going to have a little bit of bend, and suddenly it's gone, right? I throw this, I'm all too tight. I put a little weight in here, and suddenly I'm good, right? I'm throwing the hammer this way. This is almost a little too tight. I got some power in here, sure. I got a little power in here. But if I put a little bit of weight in this hand, it's coming back here. Now I am burying a whole bunch more weight. So if you are, at any point, you get to that point where you notice one of your students and they're a little bit tight, a little bundled up here, put a weapon, just a hammer, tomahawk, whatever you want to use, in their hand and let them swing it nice and easy. And you'll find that they'll naturally start easing those punches out because, you know, like I said, this is a little too much. This is a little too much the other direction. But you want it someplace in here, and naturally the weight of the weapon, hammer, whatever it be, is going to bring that to your attention. It's going to help you smooth out. So that way you're able to throw these weapons with the maximum power. Because like I said, you're not going to get nothing from here. It's going to have to be here. All right, so hope that's helping, and we will talk to you at some point later.